This is LARICY Live, and I'm your host, Matt LARICY. We're giving you unfiltered access to the world of real estate, where we can cover the market trends, news, and honest answers to keep you ahead of the real estate game. LARICY Live is brought to you by Lincoln Title. Lincoln Title is the best and most efficient title company in Chicago and is the best place to close your property. LARICY Live is brought to you by Guaranteed Rate and Ben Cohen. Ben Cohen is the #1 lender in Illinois and can close your loan in as fast as 8 days. We are here today to discuss, we're doing a little bit of an update on the casino. Bally's Casino opened up in River North. We have been strong opponents against the casino. We did not want it. So we did a little bit of research. And I brought in two people that were with me, Catherine Holbrook. Catherine, are you going to be going by Catherine Healy anytime soon here?
Eventually, yeah.
I mean, like Jamie on our team, she like ran out and changed it to daily. I think the night of the wedding, she went to the thing,
Yeah,
you know?
I don't know. I mean, it's like with business, then you change it. Like, I remember even when I got the email from Jamie, I almost deleted it because I didn't know who it was.
Threw me off, too.
Yeah.
Nicole took like 10 years to change. I don't think Nicole changed her name yet.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe eventually.
It takes a long time.
Yeah.
And we got John Paul Gomez, also known as Johnny Bag of Donuts, also known as the Pope, also known as Jon Snow.
And just John.
Just John.
Or Paul.
Or Paul.
Or Mr. Paul.
Or Mr. Paul. I
got a lot of names.
I kind of like Just John, though.
John's
good. So we're here to talk about the casino. And our initial thoughts were what? I was nervous about crime.
Yeah.
I was, because obviously River North's not doing us any favors with what's been happening with shootings and carjackings and all this stuff. Although this year it's been a little bit better. It's now gone to the other areas. We haven't, River North hasn't been as bad.
Yeah.
But I also thought, with casinos typically brings, gambling, crime, prostitution, drugs. These are just things that you
Late night
think
bad
of.
decisions.
Right. And obviously I have 3 kids, so I was against it. What were your initial thoughts of this?
I mean, I'd say probably the same. I would say, how do I say this? Maybe like the type of people kind of hanging outside the casino is probably not the best for these little this neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say.
My initial thoughts were like, I don't know, it's just going to bring a whole different group of people, like gamblers.
Yeah.
And everyone knows gamblers. And
it's 24 hours.
Yeah,
so it's like.
It's not 24 hours from now. It's 8 a.m. to 4.
The temporary one.
Yeah, the temporary.
But it will
But the new
be.
one will be at 24 hours.
It'll be 24/7. 6 in the
we-
morning, play blackjack.
I mean, honestly, I always said, I wouldn't care if it's because if you got some guys in town, you haven't seen them in 10 years, go to the casino on a Thursday night. But I always said, the thing that always makes me nervous is Tuesday at 2 o'clock. What's that going to bring to the neighborhood when you got these kids walking down the streets holding the little, what do they call them, little harness stairs?
Yeah.
And you got these guys hammered, from the casino. I'm nervous for something to happen to some innocent kid. That's legitimately what I am. So then what we did is we do a dinner every quarter, every 3 or 4 months we do a dinner.
Yeah.
So we did a team dinner, and John Paul here, just John.
That night I was just John.
You were very adamant about checking out the casino.
Thought it would be a great time because when you think about it, it's something to do, and that's the only cool thing, or one of the cool things about a casino is that after you eat dinner or something, usually you go somewhere for drinks, and then it's oh, could we get in?
A nightcap.
And we're waiting in line,
Yeah.
and we're oh, this sucks. Takes the fun out of it. The casino was 0.1 miles away, right in.
Well, we were at Joe's. We had a fantastic dinner at Joe's.
We did have a good
Joe's.
dinner.
Joe's was great. But shout out to Joe's.
Yeah, and I agree too. It's something to do. It's not just sitting at a bar, right? You can.
Well,
have a
my
little bit
wife
of
told me
fun.
that she was going to come to the casino with the 3 kids in the car and
Pull you out.
Yeah, pull me out and make a scene.
That would have been awesome.
If she found out that I went to the casino. And as dinner went on, the car salesman, John, and Catherine.
Easy sell. That was an easy sell. She was definitely pushing it too.
I was sitting between these two who were just constantly telling me we got to go. And after dinner, we did, like I said, we were going to do some market research. So we did some market research, and we went to the casino. What were your impressions?
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was
Great.
pretty awesome.
It was great.
It was pretty awesome.
It was one of the best nights ever.
It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. I mean, we ran that casino too.
It was great.
I think
people
we picked up
stopped.
clients.
Yeah, we
made
did.
New friends,
Yeah, we did. We picked up some clients.
Won some money.
Yeah.
Some people asked JC if these were this was a fraternity.
Yeah, people thought we were frat guys.
Like we were out of control, yes, but we had a pretty good time. And I mean, for me personally, my initial impression when I walked up to the casino is I was kind of nervous about like safety is a big one I talked about, and crime and things of that nature. And there was at least 3 or 4 cop cars out front.
Presence was there. You felt safe walking in.
You had
like
a security
Chicago
outside,
PD and then other security by the casino.
2 layers of security to get in.
Yeah.
They checked bags,
Checked
metal
bags,
detectors,
metal detectors, and then the wands.
Yeah, the wands. Oh yeah, got wanded down.
Yeah.
Like, forgot about that one. But so like I when I got inside though, I felt safe. You know what I mean? I felt like it was a comfortable environment.
Yeah.
Which I think is big right now, especially with mass shootings going on in big places and things of that nature. I mean, like, I know it sounds terrible to say it like that, but I mean, it's just reality of life. I mean, that's the world we live in today.
Yeah.
And I got in, I felt great, and I got to tell you, like, it felt kind of classy in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
It did. They did a good job building it out. I mean, they spent a lot of money.
It looks like a casino, and it like has that casino smell.
That's got a casino
to
smell,
it.
yeah.
And the sound of the slot
carpet,
machines.
Yeah, and the carpet is like the.
Do you think they're pumping oxygen in that air? Because I got to tell you, I was a little tired after dinner. I mean, we ate a big meal.
We all
walked in there. I was like, man, the lights were blaring. They had like different light bulbs in there.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a round of lemon drops we did the second we walked in.
Keep in mind, it wasn't a Saturday night. This was a Wednesday.
This was a Wednesday night.
It was a Wednesday night.
We walked in there at like 11 o'clock. It was packed.
Wednesday night, 11 p.m.
It was packed. So like when you were in there, like experience-wise, you think, like I know for me, and we were talking to a lot of people because we were in good spirits after a couple of cocktails. A lot of people we talked to were people in from McCormick Center, which I was surprised by.
Yeah.
A lot of travelers for work.
Yeah, a lot of travelers for work.
Yeah, and a lot of like the same thing as us, like companies I think that went out to dinner and then wanted something to do after.
Yeah.
A lot of people that work together. We were talking to a group of lawyers.
Yeah, talking to a group of lawyers.
We were. It's a perferect nightcap for whatever you're doing in the night, and just go.
Yeah.
I wonder if companies around here are gonna be a little upset. Because that the people who come into town, and then like they're gonna go out to the casino until like 3 o'clock in the morning, and they're not gonna be on game for a 9 a.m. meeting.
It's true. It's tempting if you're staying at a hotel downtown and it's right down the street.
What about the layout? Layout wise, did you guys think the layout of the casino was pretty good?
Yeah, I mean, trying to remember. So I think it was like slots on the 2
It's
floors.
like 3 floors.
John Paul's been there like 10 times now.
Okay,
No,
so
I've been there 4 times.
And then the tables were on the top level, right? So I think that was nice.
We played blackjack.
Yeah.
We were
played
playing blackjack.
all night.
I won. I went home a winner.
I
won 325, which is like, listen, I'm not saying I'm going to retire off it, but we gambled for a good 2.5
Kat
hours.
was the only person there bringing good energy to the table, playing by the book, wanting the table to win.
Splitting sevens.
And then Kat left, and then it was me, LARICY, and I think Joe.
The Jet.
And LARICY was next to me, and it's very crucial when there's a person playing next to you and the decisions that they make.
Yeah.
Hey,
and did he make the wrong
He
decision?
was doubling. I'm going to say this. He was doubling on 14 for all you blackjack players out there.
I mean, listen.
He was winning. He was winning.
Listen, I doubled down on 14 and I won. Did I not win that hand?
No, what happened to
First
me?
off, I doubled down on 14, and John Paul literally almost crapped his pants. He's like, "What are you doing? You can't do that." The guys the lawyers at the table are like, "You can't do that.
Everyone was
You
freaking
can't
out."
do that." And I was like, listen, I'm feeling like doubling down, and then I hit it. I think I got 21.
You did.
Yeah, and everyone went crazy, and then John that night hit, and then you busted.
Yep. Yeah.
And then hey,
everybody else lost.
No, everybody won. Everybody won, but John. Just John lost.
That was at the end of the table.
So so it is what it is, But that's my point. Is we had a great time playing blackjack.
It was.
We did a couple hours.
Yeah, we were there like 2-3 hours.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good time, and I think the environment up there was great. Like it literally felt like you were just like in like a classy Vegas setting.
Yeah.
It really
like
was.
the Cosmo, like in the
Drink wise. What do you guys think drink wise?
They had all the top shelf stuff. They had
good
cocktail
wine.
servers walking around.
Catherine had enough wine there.
They did. They had Sauvignon Blanc. I mean,
No, it was legitimate. Like they were running a nice, smooth casino.
Yeah. I think it was. I think everything about it was good. So now that we've been in there and we experienced it, I would say we had an awesome time at the party. Jamie Daly was with us. She's on maternity leave, paid maternity leave. Let me add.
She was gambling too.
and she
Came into an intense night.
Jamie has been on maternity leave and she has not drank since her baby. And I got to tell you, I think Jamie had a little bit too much fun at that party.
Nice.
And then we also got ourselves some players cards. This is Bally's players card here. Now this is Gretchen's because I didn't remember to get mine. But Gretchen, our professional poker player of the group, reminded everybody the minute we walked in, remember to get
players cards.
First thing she said, get
she
players
was on
cards.
it.
So pro tip, by the way, guys, if you're going to Bally's, get yourself a player's card.
Get a player's card.
What does a player's card actually? I have them for like a lot of the casinos. I mean, I don't go to casinos.
It tracks like what you're
how much
playing
you're
with,
spending.
and then if you have like a bad night, the pit boss will come and be like, "Hey, you guys want some sandwiches?"
Yeah,
Oh, got
Make it feel better, and then you're eating. You lost all your money. You're eating sandwiches in the cafe.
You lost $2,000, they give you a free $5 bill.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a good deal.
Like that
It's a
way you
good
get
deal.
away with yourself. Well, so listen, we went there. We were very negative on it. We thought it was gonna be terrible. We thought it wasn't gonna be classy. We walked in. We felt safe.
We did.
How about when you left? Now, I mean, I left by myself.
I left by myself, and
As a single girl,
I left with
married girl, but by yourself.
Yeah, I left by myself. Gretchen was outside trying to get an Uber too. The security guard waited with us while we got an Uber. And there's another cop car and the bike cops here, and it's very well lit. I mean, I felt okay leaving.
Yeah, it's not like the security fell off. They were there
No, the
throughout
whole
the whole
time.
night.
Yeah.
Which I think is big because, like, in all honesty, for me personally, after experiencing it, I think these clubs that are open till 4 o'clock in the morning
Or worse.
are far worse.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Than that.
Yeah.
You know,
They
because
have
it's
one bouncer that doesn't care and
Right.
is just
That
being
could
rude and
sometimes be
thinks he's
combative.
cool. Yeah.
Right. So
They
I
don't
think
care about you.
I think it was overall, and I was
A great experience.
Yeah, I was about against the casinos you could get. Now,
So
now I'm
was
like, I gotta say, like, now I've been in there, I'm like, you know what, like, I'd a million times rather have that than one of these clubs over here that's had a lot of shootings at.
Yeah.
sure.
You know, what I mean, there's been numerous clubs. Where
But what do
people-
you think about when it moves? Let's
So when
say?
it moves to the other side. Now, I mean, for me personally, I'm actually pretty hot on this now. Like, after seeing who was in there, right? And we talked to a lot of people in there. I mean,
did. Made our rounds.
We were talking to I think anybody that was in there, we've talked to. There was like
Yeah.
1,000 people in there. We were pretty
It was
obnoxious.
good energy
It
all the way
was.
around.
We brought good energy though too.
Yeah.
We brought the energy. But I'm saying that, like, you know, like when we walked in there, we talked to people, all McCormick people, all these people, like, and then they're all like, oh, you know, a lot of people after dinner. There was a
Yeah.
lot of senior citizens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just having a
Who
good
were
time.
like, oh yeah, we're having
Yeah.
dinner down the street.
Now they're
and
playing.
we came in here and had a couple hands.
Yep.
You
Some
know?
of our clients had downsized into
Yeah,
one of these
yeah,
high rises, just
yeah.
walking over.
Yeah.
Now
Yep.
they have something to do.
So like now I'm like, I think when it comes over here, I think I do. Before I was like, tourist attraction, no way, it's just gonna be like this terrible wasteland. Now I'm like, I legit think it's gonna be a tourist attraction.
And it's going to be even more legit. So this is temporary and small.
Yeah.
This thing's going to have, aren't they saying it's going to have a Michelin star restaurant?
Dude, I think people are gonna be
venues?
driving from Indiana, Wisconsin.
It's gonna
you
be
know,
an attraction.
Ohio,
Well, like a lot of the
Iowa.
casinos in Indiana and like the Four Winds, they get like pretty decent, like Kelly Clarkson, like they get like pretty decent like shows and
Clarkson.
stuff.
Yeah.
Kelly Clarkson, like or like Ludacris,
Yeah.
is playing at the Four Winds, the Blues Travelers. But like I think that could be good for like shows and stuff.
Big
too.
name entertainers.
Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty though, now that I'm seeing it, like first off, Chicago's not getting any good press at all. Like,
Yeah.
At all, ever. And like you get the casino, like, oh, it's gonna be bad. Now after seeing this, I'm like, I think this casino's gonna help us turn this thing around.
Yeah.
It'd be
You
nice.
know, like we need something for people, especially the Bears. What else we got here for people?
Yeah.
We got half the businesses, you know, threatening to move out here. You know, they got not getting tax breaks. Well, you know, that brings me to the thing is that like I think this is gonna bring good tax revenue to the city.
Yeah.
Like the city's broke, Like, you know, I'm not saying this is gonna be something that's by all means. I'm not saying this is gonna save us by any means. I'm just saying that like it's a nice little perk that's gonna help out the city a little bit.
Financially too, yeah, for sure.
And I think it'll be an attraction. I think a lot of people who like were scared to come to the city, and let's face it, that's a lot of people right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know a lot of people like that right now. And I think it'll be like, you know what? Like my friend Jill, John, and Jack all went to the casino and they felt really good about it. And that's gonna help people come back down here again. They'll be like, hey, I'm gonna stay at a hotel room at the Four Seasons.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, I love Chicago.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying again, by any means I'm not saying it's gonna be a savior, but I think it'll give us a little boost.
Yeah.
More positive than negative.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so. Now,
Way different than what I think we all thought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all the opposite.
I mean, like hands down the opposite.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not too big of a person to admit when I'm wrong. You know, we were definitely wrong on that.
Yeah.
But you know, I think it was a positive experience. Do you think the casino, like previously we asked, do we think the casino would help or hurt the values around there? What do you guys think now?
I don't think it. That's a good question.
Like
I don't think it's going to be like a driving factor directly.
I don't
Like,
think
oh,
that
there's a
pe-
casino,
Yeah.
and then like all 700 Larrabee is going to skyrocket.
Yeah,
I
I
think it's
still
just
don't-
going to be
yeah.
a stimulating factor, like you
I
guys
still don't
said.
think people are going to want to live by it.
I think it's gonna have no effect.
Yeah.
I don't think people are gonna be like, oh, I won't live there because casinos over there, and I don't think people are gonna be like, I want maybe a couple bros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way: like when I was 21 years old, you
Yeah.
know, like in college, and if you're like, dude, you can live next to a casino.
Right.
After my experience there, I'd be like, yeah, I want to live next to it. You know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
I also couldn't buy a place at 21. So I'm saying like, I don't think it's gonna have a positive or negative effect. I think it'll just be something like when it's like when we're touring places and you're like, you're next to Gibson's, you got Gibson's right there. The guy's not gonna buy it because Gibson's right there, but he's like, hey, it's nice. I can walk out my door and go there. It'll be like a nice bonus. It'll be like living next to a grocery store.
I still think you'll have a good amount of people that don't want to be.
I think the amount of people that won't want to live by it will be equal to the amount of people who do want to live by it.
Until people listen to this podcast, and then they're all going to want to live by it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
we're for it.
Listen, if you're against it, do what I did. Yeah. I was against it. I made fun of these guys at dinner for being degenerates for wanting to go to the casino, right? That's what I said. Like half the dinner.
You were telling us less than 0% chance you will be I told you, I was like, when we walk in and they check our IDs, I'm going to tap you on the shoulder and say, I told you.
I didn't say less than 0%.
Yeah.
You did.
I said it was like about 10%.
I gotta say though, it was pretty easy to convince him.
It was. After what? Your third drink.
Yeah.
It was all downhill.
He opened a bottle of brand and he was going.
All I know is I got a text from Nicole at like 10:30 at night. It was like, "Are you at the casino? Yes or no?"
Circle.
I didn't answer.
Oh, you didn't?
No. I was too scared. Okay. What about when it comes to neighbors? Do you think neighbors are going to be complaining about it now after going to it?
I think maybe once like music and stuff starts, like concerts, or
I think the concert's going to like because they got an outdoor concert.
Yeah, they have like at the new one. Yeah.
And John, you think this one's going to last over here?
That's what they were saying when we were talking to people in there. They said even when they open up the new permanent location, the temporary one's going to stay.
Okay. I like that one better.
What are you going to say?
And then I also think traffic. The neighbors will be complaining about traffic.
Well, traffic is one thing.
And for like nightlife, if there's restaurants at the new one and stuff, I don't know about how the traffic is.
I mean, it's already
I don't think a lot of people
here
drive.
at rush hour.
Well, that's because 994's got construction. People are trying to get on it.
But it's been like that even before, so it can't get any better.
Well, eventually they're going to be redoing that. I don't even know when that would be.
They're making a 4-lane on both sides.
Oh, well, that'll make a huge difference.
But that bridge is going to be closed for like a year, I think.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I don't understand how they could, like, during war times, if they could build entire cities, like whole cities, like like cities the size of Chicago.
We're notorious for slow construction.
But in a non-war time place, like it takes like 6 years to build a bridge. They should be able to build that bridge in a month.
Yep.
Like, that's it. It doesn't make any sense to me, but it is what it is. Okay, last thing. What is now after being there? What's your final thoughts? Like, what are you taking away from the casino? John first.
I think that it's just going to bring another layer of entertainment to the city. Good entertainment. It'll make all the in-towners, all the tourists. It'll just stimulate everyone's time when they're visiting Chicago. So I think that I'm for it, and I think. It's only, of course, it's going to bring negatives, but I think the positives will outweigh the negatives.
Are you up or down right now from the casino?
I am very up. I'm up.
Okay, now if you're down, would your opinion be different?
No, I'm not a sore loser, but I am up, and if I'm down, maybe my view will change slightly, but right now I'm happy.
Okay. You?
I mean, I think the same. I think like hopefully it kind of brings like people coming back into Chicago for something to do, right? Like if you're thinking of like a bachelor party, like where are people going? Nashville, Scottsdale, stuff to do.
True. I didn't think about
now
that.
It's like maybe bringing people down. You can go to dinner, the casino. It kind of like adds something to keeping them like in Chicago.
We saw bachelorette parties outside of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's an awesome thing to do for a bachelorette party.
It is.
Like,
Perfect.
I mean,
that.
I've gone on bachelorette parties in Chicago where we've taken like a limo to Rivers because it's just something else to do. So the fact that you don't have to leave, you can still go to a bar if it sucks or if people lose or whatever, just like staying in the city. So I think it's a good thing for the city.
I totally forgot about like the whole bachelorette
That's a whole
thing.
different dynamic.
Yeah.
Makes the whole city different.
Yeah. I mean, not that it's like the best thing you want, but I'm saying like it is good. We do lose
big
a lot
guys,
to people.
Golf all day.
Nash Vegas has been crushing on bachelor parties, right?
Yep.
I never understood why people travel for bachelorette parties.
Well, you've never been to one.
I've never been to. That's a true story. I've never been to a bachelor party, but I just think it's ridiculous. The whole thought of having to pay that much money to go party, in my opinion, when you could be working.
They're vacations now. They're not even just bachelor or bachelorette
That's what I'm
parties.
saying. Yeah. We should do a whole podcast
on
bachelor and bachelorette parties.
I'll invite my friends who did intense ones.
Okay.
Guest appearance.
So my closing thoughts on the casino is that I am I'm not saying like, if it wasn't here that I would be a proponent to be like, let's build it, okay? But I am saying that now that it is here, I'd like to try to make sure it's as good as it can be. And I do think it's going to be a big tourist draw, especially after seeing who was in there and what was going on in there. I think it's going to be more of a positive than a negative. Again, if all things are equal and I could have no casino ever being in Chicago, I think I'd probably still say wish it wasn't there, although I did have an awesome time at the party on Wednesday. But I do think it's going to have a positive effect on taxes, and I think it's going to help get we need tourists back. I mean, I know tourism did really well last year, but I don't know, man. I think we need more positive light on the city and more people to have a better time to look at Chicago in a positive light, because I feel like the news right now is Chicago is probably one of the worst cities in the country, and we need to turn that perception around. And I think if people have a good time and they keep it the way it was, I think it could be a good thing for the city. So
I agree. And we're 2 to 3 years out too. It's a long project.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the rest of the thing that we're in right now can turn when that happens, but we'll see. So.
Yeah.
Well, I think eventually, too, it'll just become like anything else. People will just get used to it, right?
Yeah.
It'll be like driving by a McDonald's or a Mariano's they build or New City. It's
maybe
just
maybe that's our problem, though, is that we're getting older now, and we're the type of people get off my lawn, we're just like the
100%.
You got the casino there, so now we're mad because we're creatures of habit. As you get older, you get crankier.
You don't
know what I mean?
change.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, creatures of habit. So. Anyways, so that's our take on the casino. If you go to the casino, drop us a line. Let us know what you think.
Definitely
Get yourself a player's card. Let us know what you think. Comment and give us your honest feedback. We're here. I was adamantly against it. Now I'm okay with it. So we'd love to hear what your opinion looks like. Thanks again for listening to LARICY Live.